A strange hand stirs you awake and simply motions you to follow. The outline of a strange, gangly man quickly turns to a face that you recognize. Barudramir offers you a friendly nod and silently leads you out of the tent. The forest is eerily quiet. There is no indication of life near you that you can tell. Unsettling torches light your path to a dark red tent. The warmth of the small flames waft the cold away from your face. When you arrive, he pulls one curtain to the side and ushers you in. Inside, you see an old, decrepit woman with a gleam of insanity in her eyes. She smiles at you and dips her head as she states, "Welcome, dearie. Have a seat. We have much to discuss." Do you take a seat?
Yeah, definitely. How many people have came and gone before me from the group?
So right now it's only been Trayvok.
Okay.
Um,
Did he look like fucking shaking the fuck up when he came back? Or I guess he just woke me up actually, so
yeah.
I'm not even okay.
You would have caught a glimpse of him like sitting down, but he looked kind of confused for all intents and purposes. Like he looked like somebody that was kind of mulling over a lot of things.
Okay.
Obviously, she just told him a lot of shit, and he's trying to kind of,
But he was totally alive and chilling.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Physically, other than him stuck in thought, there isn't really anything that looks wrong with. He's not injured. He's not, he's not like missing an eye or anything like that. Like he's his normal self. He's just like, he looks like he's kind of dealing with some shit, for lack of a better term.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely sit down.
Okay. Yes. She just kind of looks at you for a moment, and as someone with dementia just kind of starts speaking at random. 757 years ago, give or take, the days run together in a long silhouette of the sun, dancing like a shadow in the frame of the midday sky. The Count, then known only as Strahd von Zerevich, conquered the land of Barovia in the name of his father, King Berov. He constructed his castle in the name of his mother, Ravinia, of whom he invited the widow to come and live with him. We aren't certain what brought the fog, but it is set in shortly after, as did other horrors. Horrors in number too great to discern, she says, shaking her head. As you've seen in the mansion, society does indeed crumble under the lightest misfortune. A feather fall of ill omen and the forest catches fire with worry. Before those fallen to hysteria, the most desperate tend to rise. The desperate will latch on to anything they can, even if it pulls them under, like sailors on a capsizing ship. No one is certain what the entity is that resides in that house, but it has taken the lives of many. However, what questions have you now?
Why was I fated to be here?
Ah, yes. That we shall see, though I have a grand idea of what that could be. And she reaches over and grabs a flat black card and flips it over. And it shows a bright burning pyre atop a tall tower. Ah, yes. The flame to draw the derelict, bringing hope and warmth to those that desire it. Like moths, trouble pour their way to you, no? Along the way, Others will deny your attention at first, and given your resolve and choices, they may never know your name until you are hoisted upon the pedestal of victory. You should offer aid to all those who are in need, even if they refuse. There may be a time in which reprieve from the rain is all an ally will need, for you are the beacon of hope. Though the beacon is never lit without another, the bastion of whom hoists the pyre high into the air and shelters it from those who wish to extinguish its guiding light. And she holds her hand over a crystal ball that's sitting out on the table. Her eyes roll into the back of her head. Ah, yes, I see him here, the bastion of hope, as it were. It is your brother Thand. But there, there is another of your family here, it seems. Your mother. She rests not far from here in an old wheat mill. And her eyes open wide and her eyeballs quickly roll back into normal position. She pauses for a short moment and chuckles softly to herself. As with most things, you will need to express caution. But there is an item you will need there, at that old wheat mill. Perhaps reuniting is a part of the fortune. You know very little of her at all, don't you?
Perhaps.
Ah, yes. Do you even know her name?
I confess I do not.
Would you like to?
I'm not sure.
Very
She
well.
live?
Ah, yes. In a manner of sorts.
Is she undead?
In no ways is she different than you or I, simply trudging forward through the fog, through the trees, in hopes to find a sunny clearing before she goes. I've heard tell of her for some time, though I never knew her to be a mother. Though perhaps that reason is that she would not befit that role here. Nevertheless, in the darkest depths of the folly, will seek your warmth. May the gods have strength in your faith, young beacon. You will most certainly need it. And with that, she kind of looks you over and appraises you. Are you certain you don't wish to know her name?
Could you answer me this? Does she know mine?
As does any mother know her child. Though it has been some time for you, no. I promise you it has been much longer for her. Though she may know you as her son, she may not recognize you, and you of most certainty would not recognize her. Why, you were merely a baby, were you not?
We were abandoned before even the ability to form memories.
Hmm?
Months old, maybe.
Yes. I am certain you would have many questions for her, no? as it would seem that more than fate has brought you here now. And with that, she grabs a deck of cards. She gives it a large shuffle, even though I just fucked that. I must tell you, young beacon, your aid can start a new life here. You will bring the hope of many, even more than those you travel with. Though for now, the most pertinent question, do you choose the left deck or the right?
Left.
Very well, as your friend both chose. You must bear with me as I draw these cards, for my old mind tends to slip. Oh, yes. The Six of Wands in reverse. She quickly pulls out a little black book and starts kind of thumbing through it. Oh. I must warn you, or perhaps had I the ability to know you in your previous life here, that you face some humiliation. Could it be that those of whom you served were less of more value than you wished and desired? Or perhaps was it that it took far too long for you to finally defend yourself, being overly reliant on your brother, the Bastion, to keep you safe? Nevertheless, Oh, I see. Tell me, son, is it often of late you find yourself in disagreement with your party? Do you find yourself at odds, making foe of a would-be friend?
I wouldn't say particularly, no.
Oh,
I find people rather hasty, but the one I would have the most peculiar problems with has been dispatched on fate itself.
Yes. I know of him well. The champion of the gloaming court. The Selsindori, yes. One Caspian Garnier. Ah, yes. The night.
Ultimate sacrifice, unfortunately, escaping that house you speak of as well.
Ah, yes. There are chambers in these lands that are far darker than any night. May we pray to whomever will listen that he find his way to the light once more? Perhaps that he return to the warmth of your pyre.
I do pray.
Tell me, young ward, do you find yourself at odds with yourself? stuck in the ways of old, too stubborn to make your way forward, to readapt to your surroundings?
I'm not really sure what you mean by that.
Hmm.
I even have nothing but my faith.
With any
Very
luck,
new reality for me.
with any luck, my words will never become true, though time will tell. Nevertheless, there are far more important matters. She quickly kind of scrapes the cards up, places them back into a deck. There are tools here if you wish to use them, young beacon, to end the suffering of those that inhabit this land. Do you wish to know of these tools?
That is something I do wish to aspire. For if I have any length of time here, that will be my doing.
Mm-hmm. Very well. I will do my best to help you then. She pulls out another deck of cards that have silver wisps that emanate from a skull with two raven heads on either side. And she leans back in her chair to kind of study you a moment. So now we know you. We must first learn of the tools you need. Let us see what they are. Ah, yes. If it were to please your inquisitive mind, these were a gift from Ravinia some several hundred years ago, when we found Strahd wounded and left for dead. A great time for kind gestures, no? Anyway, it will bring us some good fortune, as it will let us know where lies the power to free those whom remain tortured here. That she takes a card, flips it over. Oh, I see. The evoker holds the key to the tome of Strahd. This will tell you of Strahd's past, and perhaps hold some ideals on how to defeat him should you wish. The evoker rests, however, in the ruins of Berez, which is now home to Baba Lysaga, an almost mythic figure tied to Strahd's ancient past. A hermit, she spends most of her time crafting and animating scarecrows to hunt down and kill the ravens and were-ravens that infest Strahd's domain. When she isn't working evil magic, Baba Lysaga sacrifices beasts to the Mother Night and collects their blood, and then bathes in the blood on the nights of the new moon in a ritual to stave off the effects of extreme old age. She was also known to be the midwife of Queen Ravinia, a terrible, terrible foe nevertheless. She draws another card and gasps. Oh, the Abjurer. Tell me, young Bastian, are you familiar with the school of abjuration?
I am.
So you know its purpose, yes? Meant to defend and protect the wielder as best it may.
Yes.
Then then it would shock you to know, as the abjurer, they have used a great many spell to contain the evil. Within the Amber Temple, buried within its depths, however, lays a blade so powerful it is said it could cut the sun from the mists. It lies in a secret room adjacent to the preserved library. If only it were so simple, it seems. As this is only the blade, we will have to search for the hilt, though I'm afraid it rests beyond the mists. Oh, yes, the merchant, the holder of the idol of raven kind. They're one of my personal favorites, the Wizard of the Wines. Both the person and the brewery. The Wizard of the Wines was founded by a mage whose name is buried in the annals of history. The wizard fashioned 3 magic gems, each one as big as a pine cone, and planted them in the rich valley soil. These seeds, as it were, gave rise to healthy grapevines, which produce sweet and plump grapes, even after Strahd's curse settled over Barovia. The gems kept the vines and their grapes from succumbing to the darkness. Strahd had bequeathed the winery and vineyard to a noble Kreskov family as a reward for the family's loyalty. Later, an arranged marriage between the Kreskovs and the Martikov family led to the land being taken over by a Martikov descendant. Gathering their idol may bring you some advantage when it is time to cull the plagues of this land. However, next we shall see what fate shall bring you an ally. Oh, and it would seem that you travel with her already. The innocent, the pure of heart, the young eye of the Count himself, Irina Kolyana. It would seem that perhaps fate has already bestowed upon you. However, it would seem if you wish to fight Strahd in hopes to usurp him, perhaps doing so in the dungeon will be his undoing. Nevertheless, as I told your friend, perhaps it would be better to know him first. Why, if you find yourself so strung on ridding this realm of him, that perhaps knowing your enemy first would prove beneficial, and if nothing else, perhaps you will gain a new friend. Why, as I spoke to Rahadin merely a day ago, it seemed that he had already met the likes of you in your party, and I would assume suspects that you will be joining them for dinner soon. Did he speak to you of such?
Yes, directly after that house fiasco.
Yes. It would
force us to accept an invitation to a dinner.
You may find the creatures that walk these roads, inhabit these forests, and lay caged in strange and bewildering manners, not lie within the castle of the Count. While some may revere him as the devil, you would find him to be quite the gentleman as you are within his walls. I would not fear accepting such invitation.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. There is more if you wish to learn it, or if you wish to remain in ignorance, as some here do.
Like what?
Well, my young fire, I believe, as I told your friend, there is quite a bit more for you to learn outside of the fog and the mists. There is one within the gates of Valakai that will take you among the mists, through them even, to a place of vast importance, though he will not reveal himself until you are prepared. It would be wise you not ask for him by name unless you are certain you speak it only to those you trust. His alias? Jarek the Fisher. Present him with one of our elixirs and this note. So she hands you the card from earlier with the one that says the Beacon of Hope on it. And then she holds up a potion. Oh, excuse me. But you will need something first. A potion brewed by the Vistani. We have two. She holds up a strange dark brew with vibrant silver shimmers floating amongst its contents.
Okay.
We will... She kind of looks you over for a moment. If I am correct, you have gathered one of these before. Have you seen one like this?
Is it like one of the ones we pulled out of the house?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was in the chest.
Yes.
Like that.
Found a few of those, or one, I think, in the chest in the house. It's pretty sure some of the cultists in there, they...
Yes. It, while rarely happened, once Gustav learned of our ways to be in and out, would often pay to lure in new people and do with them as he liked. However, to brew more for those of you that do not have one, as you will need to imbibe it before passing through the mist, we will need 3 rubies that will be ground by an obsidian mortar and pestle, 3 hair of the Luke Guru, and a flower from the Gothias tree at Yester Hill. I must also tell you that you will need to bring the obsidian mortar and pestle as well. And while you may be reluctant to meet your mother, there is a strong chance that she is in possession of said tool. However, if you do not wish to meet her, perhaps you simply wait outside.
I'm no coward. I never thought the chance would come. Nor did I ever believe it would be presented in front of me so easily.
Perhaps That is the mystery of my profession, yes? That if you were to stare at the cards for far too long, they would most certainly come true. However, they would do so without your presence. And if you were to act against them, certainly, you would be more than capable of achieving your goals, but in different fashion. Such is the way of divination. I must warn you as well, as you gather these things, and as you make your way across Barovia, do not treat all Vistani the same. Why, there are some that may bring you issues, like you had with Istoville and Orupel, two of whom I'm sure you remember. You should know that we've exiled them from here long ago. You can find them if you so wish to confront them. They reside in a cave on the far side of Mount Baratok. It is quite a ways travel from here, on the far side of Valakai. But I must warn you, I wouldn't go near them, not until you've had more time to prepare yourself. You will need these preparations to face the Luke Guru anyhow, as they surely won't fall easily. It would also seem that there is more to your freedom and the hilt of the sun sword beyond the fog. Your true meaning lies outside of Barovia, young beacon. It is imperative that you gather these, as I say, so that we may learn how to rid Barovia of the curse that plagues every square inch of this land. Is there more you wish to ask?
It's all so much.
Yes, as your friend expressed as well, though I am certain knowing your future is never easy.
Why were you so quick to tell us of the Istaville? I didn't even ask.
He brings us great disgrace. We are free to travel these lands to and from the mist, due to a great service that we offered the Count in his time of need. You will find those like Istoville and the others looking to prey upon the lesser and take advantage of those without the backing of the Count, such as yourself and other foreigners.
I understand. I appreciate your honesty, and you're quite something, I must admit. How does this... Can you learn to do what you do?
I am afraid not. As is with the passing of the day, we are sure the sun sets no, though how or why will always remain a mystery.
I understand. If my time here is elongated to such that I have the ability to do scholarly work again, I would very much so like to study your work, if permitted.
Yes, we shall see what the gods permit us to do. Though there are a very few that still remain here. Though from what I have seen, yours will answer prayers far and wide. I've met a great few clergy, and even more militant in their faith, of whom their prayers go unanswered. It is concerning to watch someone question all that they've known within a mere blink of an eye. I am fond that you do not have to question such.
I would never question my faith in Helm.
And perhaps that is why he still offers you his resolve.
This is true.
But is there more you wish to know?
Mm. Is my brother fine?
Yes, your brother is, for the moment, fine. He rests in the tent near you, did he not?
He does.
Mm.
There's been times of his reckless, brutish behavior exposing itself more than usual. And mere
You,
hours before Caspian's sacrifice, he accused him of being possessed or something.
mm,
You speak of this Caspian as if he is some knowledgeable warrior, though I may have only seen him as a brash decision maker. Did he have any truth?
he wore far more burdens than anyone in your party. I wouldn't judge a man who faced a fate worse than death. However, if it so behooves you, I am certain that as you traverse the fog, you will learn more of his undoing. As for your brother, the obscurity of the mist has a strange way of manifesting itself, even in the darkest corners of our mind. Keep eye on him.
They will.
Is there more you need of me, child?
No, I believe this is more than enough to mill over in my head.
Very well. Should you meet another, be certain of their faith and loyalty in you before you speak of Jark the Fisher. If word gets out that he will take those outside of the fog, hysteria would burn across these fields as a fire would among dry grass.
I'll speak the name that no one. Elyon kind of folds the note up and secures it in his pocket.
Okay. And with that, she just kind of like ushers you away with a wave of her hand. And no sooner does she wave the hand, do you see the curtain open back up, and Baru Dramir just kind of bows as he waits for you to exit.
Yeah, exit with Bruder.
Okay. Then he just leads you back to the tent, and he taps on someone else and leads them away. And that's the end.
All right.
All right, go ahead